board because I just wanted to introduce my Whooshing Woman 5 Elements perimenopause program. I'm fusing together modern nutrition science and the ancient wisdom of traditional Chinese medicine through the means of Qigong. Over the past couple of years, the more I've delved into Qigong from my own personal practice, the more I've had light bulb moments about what this different approach to looking at well-being and wholeness brings to perimenopause. In traditional Chinese medicine, perimenopause is not a condition to be cured. It's an imbalance of internal energies within the body, which culminate in physical symptoms. The more of my own research I do as I've moved through perimenopause myself, the more I've come to understand that menopause is something which every woman will go through at some point in time. And if the body is designed to move from the phase of being fertile to being a different state beyond fertile, there's probably a biological and evolutionary reason for that. Looking into what is known as the grandmother theory in the animal kingdom, it seems that in many species, for example, elephants, I believe wolves, whales, and orcas, the older females are actually the leaders. So they're done with being sexually attractive to the males, they're done with reproducing, they have a huge repository of wisdom that they can pass on to the next generation. And I'm actually coming to believe that women are programmed to do that. There are not many species where the lifespan is long enough for females to go beyond the fertile years. And in those that are, I really do think that we should be looking more at what that means for us as individuals and understand that this is another phase of life. Something like the aircraft in the background. It's another phase of life which is meant to be different from our mother and fertile years. To me, it's very much like a similar process to puberty, and we don't medicalise puberty. You won't see a young girl who's not long started menstruating being referred to the doctor for a medical condition. Yes, there's a whole separate load of issues that go with that. And it's a period which is now known to take about 10 years. And I think perimenopause actually takes 10 years, possibly longer for many of us, because the hormonal changes are not quick, they're not linear, and they can be devastating for some women. So I've started looking at this in a very different way. And through good nutrition, through mindset work, through stress management, my own perimenopause journey it's not been entirely without ups and downs, but it has been relatively smooth compared to many of my friends and acquaintances. And that's what I want to share with as many women as possible in moving through this period of transition. And it is a transition, it's not a medical condition, it's not something that can be cured. It's in mind accepting change as well, not trying to fight against it, which is kind of increasingly difficult in a world where there's so much pressure on women to look young and attractive and pretty much identikit. I mean, look at so many celebrities in their 50s and 60s who are trying to remain how they looked when they were 30, 40. And I find that quite tragic. So to come back to Wuxing Woman, it's about seeing menopause as a journey, not as a state or something which is like a switch that flips. It's not. It's a process, and it's different for every single one of us. And it's a journey that I would like to invite you to join with me. The introductory module of my course goes live tomorrow. It is focused on the water element, which is generally perceived as being the first of the Chinese elements going through a circle of water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. So that is going live tomorrow. I will be putting additional materials on this page, Fledgling Crone, for my paid subscribers, which will be associated with the programme. There might be bits that I've taken from the programme directly. There'll be other bits I've adapted and made slightly different. So I'd encourage you all to come and have a look. If you've got any questions, please do ask me. Thank you for Florence and Vicky. I can see you join me live. Good to see you here. Going live is always, I find a bit nerve-wracking, so I appreciate your company. So if you do have any questions, then please do ask away and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you.